Well, hello and welcome to the October 2025 edition of This Month in Hamilton. Want to start out, as we always do, for thanking WBCB 1490 AM for allowing us each and every month to bring you This Month in Hamilton, as well as our sponsors, Capital Health, Haldeman Ford, Saul Funeral Home, and Kessel Dermatology. Joining us later in the show will be Laurethea Kidd, the Executive Director of the Wilson Center here in Hamilton. Talk about all the great things going on at the Wilson Center, but also the history of the Wilson Center. It's been around and been in the township for a long time, and so sometimes jewels get lost in the township. So we want to make sure all our listeners know about this particular jewel that we have here in the township, serving people from practically birth to closer to end of life. So. And all the great services in between. But as we record this on October 27th, 2025, we are just about a week until Election Day. So I want to say vote. If you haven't voted, vote. If you're thinking about voting, vote. There are many ways to do so. You can still get your vote by mail ballot in. You can either mail it or drop it off at one of our 3 drop box locations at Nottingham Firehouse, at the Golf Center on San Melito Way, or at the Municipal Building. If you're not a vote-by-mail voter, you can go early vote. The easiest place for most of you listening will be Colonial Firehouse on Cruiser Road. But no matter where you are in the county, you can go to any county location to early vote. So if you work in East Windsor, you can go to the East Windsor County Library. If you work in Trenton, they have a polling place in Trenton. So no matter where you are, you can vote anywhere early in Mercer County. If you still don't want to early vote, if you don't do vote by mail, then obviously at your normal polling location on Election Day. And so Election Day this year, November 4th, you can vote from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. But again, with all those opportunities, we hope you take the chance to vote. Whoever you vote for, that's great because it makes your voice matter in how you want things to run in our school board, at our town council, at the county level, at the state level, not only with the governor, but with your state legislators as well. So again, vote sometime between now and November 4th. A lot of exciting things besides the election going on this time of year. Obviously, I want to give you an update on our new municipal building. We think we're about a year out from being at the new building. I keep saying fall of 2026. We are still on schedule for fall of 2026, and so we hope to keep it that way. We feel very confident in the fall of 2026 calendar. And again, this will be a location not just for municipal offices, everything from Greenwood Avenue moving over there, but the school district as well. So everything from Park Avenue, and then they also have rental space. We're very close to finalizing a lease, so we hope to have that done by the end of this year. And then it's all systems go, and just hoping the union workers over there who have done a phenomenal job keep doing a phenomenal job, and we're in at this time next year. So again, fall of 2026 for the new building. You'll start seeing windows go in. You should start seeing some of the brickwork around the first floor of the building. So very exciting stuff. We're very excited. We hope you're very excited. Another big project going on in town right now, just in the very early planning stages, is the CHOP facility at the movie theater site. So probably first quarter of next year, you'll see the movie theater be demolished, torn down. That really gives CHOP a blank slate on the site for how to use the property best for their goals of providing outstanding care, not only to the children of Hamilton or of Mercer County, but really a regional facility up and down New Jersey, into Bucks County and across the river there. So we're very excited. We hope you're very excited. It'll be an economic engine for the township for years to come. But more than that, really, the health care they'll provide will be top of the line. And so myself and our Director of Community and Economic Development, Fred Dumont, took a tour about 2 weeks ago now of their King of Prussia facility. That consists of one building that's really specialized care, specialty continuing care, and then a hospital as well. So no firm plans on what a phase one kind of build will be. I think CHOP themselves is still figuring that out. But we're in the middle of putting together a redevelopment plan for that property, which will set the parameters for what can be there. And so as you see that plan, know that it'll be fairly broad because even as we talk to CHOP, right, many of you may have been there or have loved ones or friends that have gone there. You need sometimes supportive housing for family members who have a kid in there. So maybe one parent can stay in the room with the child, but there might be another kid. And so the other parent and the other kid will stay in a supportive room like a Ronald McDonald's house, right? So all those kinds of things, we're having all those conversations about the property and how we design it properly and how we design the zoning around the property to make sure it's not only a fit for CHOP, it's a fit for the township, but not only a fit today, but 10, 20, 30 years from now as well. So we're very excited. We know you're very excited as well, and we'll keep giving you updates as that process continues to move along. A lot of other projects going on in town. A lot of the road paving projects are starting to wind down. There's a few still ongoing in Hamilton Square. Thanks to PSE&G, they had done some gas main updates in some of our neighborhoods, and they're going back through and now repaving those streets. The township is doing a project in widening the bike paths in Veterans Park. What we've seen is with the rise of e-bikes and just in general with biking and pedestrians kind of going the same place as people are walking through, they've got their headphones on or their AirPods in their ears, right, and listening to music. A lot of these e-bikes or just regular push pedal bikes come up behind them, and sometimes there's some accidents or near accidents. So the goal is to try to create some dedicated pedestrian walking and some dedicated bike lanes, much like you see at the boardwalk, to try to avoid some of these accidents. That's our goal here in widening some of the bike paths and walk paths in Veterans Park. The e-bikes we know are a problem. The state knows they're a problem. We need some legislative solutions at a state level to help our police officers kind of handle some of these issues. But what we know is in the park, it's pretty much, it's very difficult for our police officers to kind of police some of these e-bike issues that are going through the town and at the speeds they're going through in the park. So understanding that, what we want to do is at least create separate lanes for those entities, people on bikes and people walking, to hopefully stay in their lane and avoid some accidents. A lot of other things going on in the town as well. We just announced about a week or so ago that we partnered with the State Department of Agriculture in preserving 2 farms out on Old York Road here in Hamilton. They equate to about 25 acres of now preserved farmland here in town that just gets added on to the already preserved green acre space or preserved farmland space we have throughout the town. So we're really excited to preserve those 25 acres. We're working with the State Department of Agriculture on another property as well. Our hope is to be able to announce that property and project and preservation by the end of the year. That's just under 50 acres. So these 3 properties together would almost be 75 acres of preserved land here in town, making sure, especially as preserved farmland, that we as the Garden State keep the garden in that in our name and here in Hamilton, that we're contributing towards that Garden State mentality and that Garden State name. So a great thing to do to preserve some farmland. And it's just, if you drive through some of these things, seeing nature as part of that farmland as well. So out on Old York Road, I've seen bald eagles obviously deer and all sorts of other wildlife. So really excited to keep those properties in a preserved state for not only farmers but for nature in general too. Many of you have seen some of the other projects that are going on in town. We just opened Dave's Hot Chicken on Route 33. The Valvoline opened on Route 33. We have a lot of ribbon cuttings we're doing, some smaller businesses that are opening throughout the town. And as we know, small businesses are the backbone of our economy, but really the backbone of the community. I mean, Dave's Hot Chicken has 50 employees that they have. These are people now who can either better their job than what they had before, or maybe get their first job. So really contributing towards the economy that way. We also have, from a larger scale, Inio Yembacher, who is ready to open, we think, by the end of the year from a phased-in approach, but by the end of next year hopes to have 200 people working at their manufacturing plant here in Hamilton. Rivian on East State Street is now under construction as well as part of a redevelopment project. So all these things kind of occurring. We have the cleanup of the Nia Parasite on East State Street also occurring. So a lot of good projects contributing to our economy, giving people here locally jobs that they can work in as they graduate high school or graduate college, depending on what route they want to take. But a lot of great things. We'll also be posting, just last week, we had our Hamilton Township Economic Development Advisory Commission Awards Dinner. I know it was a lot of words, but honoring small and large businesses, individuals, nonprofits, and our Mayor's Beautification Award winner. So as our large business, we had Hamilton Dental. For our small business, Brookwood Cafe. Our Impact Award, the impact they have on the township, was the Hamilton Police Athletic League. Our nonprofit center, Progressive Center for Living here in Hamilton. Our Business Volunteer of the Year was Gretchen DeMarco, and our Mayor's Beautification Award winner was our Department of Public Works in keeping Hamilton clean, safe, and beautiful. They're that beautiful part of that phrase. So we'll be posting their videos. We hope you take a look. It was a tremendous night. The videos honoring each of those individuals or organizations, I think, will motivate you and really give you some inspiration on what makes Hamilton such a great community. We're going to take our first break now. As I said, joining us after the break will be Laurethea Kidd from the Wilson Center as the executive director there, talking about, again, not only the history of the center, but what programs they have going on for kids, what programs they have going on for adults or for seniors, where they're located. Again, we want to make sure what might be a lost jewel here in Hamilton is rediscovered by some of you and highlighted so that you can take advantage of the programming they have there as well. So we'll be back in just a moment, and stick with us.
Kessel Dermatology in Hamilton Square is an award-winning dermatology practice led by Dr. Daniel Kessel, a board-certified dermatologist. He and his expert staff treat patients of all ages. They offer treatments of all types of skin, hair, and nail conditions, and annual skin cancer screenings, anti-aging treatments, ultraviolet A and B light treatments, skin tightening procedures, Botox, and other treatments that enhance your skin's overall health and appearance. Kessel Dermatology is open Monday through Thursday, 7 a.m. to 6 p.m., Friday, 7 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. For appointments, call 609-890-2600. That's 609-890-2600. Or visit KesselDermatology.com. They're at 1700 Whitehorse, Hamilton Square Road. Kessel Dermatology. They're good. Hamilton Township in Mercer County is fortunate to have many fine businesses that serve our community. Saul Funeral Home is a fourth-generation family-owned business proud to support our local schools and community. Their compassionate and caring staff is there for you and your family. They'll bring the closure you deserve while also celebrating the life of your loved one. Visit their website at saulfuneralhomes.com. That's saulfuneralhomes.com. Saul Funeral Home at 3795 Nottingham Way, Hamilton Square. Capital Health's primary care network continues to grow. bringing its extensive option of locations to your neighborhood. Whether you're scheduling a wellness checkup or not feeling well, advanced medicine starts with a Capital Health primary care doctor at locations near you in Mercer, Bucks, and Burlington counties. To find a Capital Health primary care location that's convenient for you, visit capitalmedicalgroup.org. That's capitalmedicalgroup.org.
Well, welcome back to This Month in Hamilton. Want to again start out by thanking our sponsors, Capital Health System, Haldeman Ford, Saul Funeral Home, and Kessel Dermatology. So, Laurethea, good morning.
Good morning, Mayor. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm well.
Welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you for inviting me back.
Yeah, it's so good, right? It's been some time, and we want to make sure people I always talk about when I was in law school, I lived just outside Camden, right across, literally across the river from Philadelphia. And it wasn't until I was due to move out that I finally was like, oh, maybe I should go see the sights. Because it was always like, well, it's so close, or I can get there anytime, or yeah, I know about it, and stuff comes up, right? So we want to make sure, when it's in your backyard, sometimes you forget what's literally in your backyard, right?
Yeah.
So just remind people a little bit, right, about you, your role, and kind of how you came to be at the Wilson Center.
Sure. Thank you for this time again, Mayor. And I just want to thank you and the Township for all that you all do to support the Wilson Center. We couldn't do what we do without you. As you said, I'm Laurethea Kidd, the Executive Director at the John O. Wilson Center. I'm coming up on about 7 years now.
Wow.
And we are located near Hamilton High West, 169 Wilford Avenue here in Hamilton. And the center's been here for just about 50 years, that building. It was Pastor Wilson who started the Wilson Center, and it started in the basement of St. Philip's Baptist Church, which is nearby about 3 or 4 blocks from the current location, and it was his mission to start Head Start there. So Head Start was in the basement of the church, and in 1976-77 the township got a grant to build the current brick and mortar where we are now. So we've been there since maybe 77.
Wow.
So I haven't been there that long.
Yes.
There. Since 77 the building has been there, and so it was his vision to bring Gateway Head Start. So part of the building is devoted to Gateway Head Start. There are 5 classrooms there, with several early childhood education services going on for children ages 3 to 5. But on our half of the building, it started out with just providing utility and rental assistance and a food pantry.
Mm-hmm.
Since that time, and I would say since my tenure there, I started in 2018, we've grown programs and services from those 3 things to a host of activities and programs and services for the community.
So, obviously, we interacted a lot during COVID, and that was a big shakeup, I'm sure, to the center, right?
Yes.
Talk about kind of how you adapted, how you overcame, how you kind of shifted things.
Yeah, I think it was a shock to everybody, right? This thing called COVID, and you had to stay away from people, and you had to be masked up. What do you do about that? And the Wilson Center, like a lot of nonprofits, we are a human service center. So it's how do I not connect with people, but I still got to connect with people. So it was an ordeal. So we took a little bit of time. I took some time to kind of regroup, kind of figure out how can we keep things running in a safe manner for the staff and for the community. And what we decided to do is we joined in on the bandwagon with a lot of food pantries, and we put food in the car. And I remember, I'll never forget, it was the Christmas, so maybe it was the Christmas of 19 or Christmas of 20, and historically we give toys to kids at Christmas. And because we were still under this mandate where you had to mask and be 6 feet apart, we had to put toys in parents' car, and we had it was really awesome. We partnered with George Wilson School down the street, and we had their 5th graders, and so there were maybe about 100 or 150 kids that we had toys for. And I think you were there. You were putting toys in the trunks of people's cars, and we had Santa Claus outside. And it was just an amazing way that the community came together to make Christmas happen for kids. I still believe in kids having toys on Christmas. So it was an amazing way to still make that happen. But we had to pivot a lot. We had to go to, maybe you can't just walk in. You got to call for an appointment, and we got to keep the distance. And then the glasses went up in front of the desk, like at the, at the bank. So it was an ordeal, but we made it work.
Yeah.
We made it work. The focus is, service to people. So we made it work.
And I think that's so great of what you see for any organization. I know you're coming up on 50 years at that location, right? Um, Anything that lasts that long has to go through periods, inevitably, right? Of ups and downs and curveballs and being literally upside down with some things, right?
Yeah.
And it's a testament to you and the leaders before you to overcome each one of those things.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just nonprofits in general, we bear the burden of funding, right? Continuing to make sure we have funding and grants and in the current economic landscape, it's a bit challenging. But those are sometimes the lows that we got to kind of work through and press through to make sure that we continue to offer service. But then we have the tremendous highs, like I said, the Christmas. And I was sharing with you before we came on air, we had our first awareness and recognition program October 16th. It was last Thursday, the Thursday before, and it was amazing. It was we had it right there in the Wilson Center, 50 to 60 attendees. We brought some caterers in, local caterer, Jersey Girls. Shout out to Jersey Girls here in town, and they catered the event, and it was an amazing event, first time ever. I like to do some first in Hamilton if I can. So I've been doing some of that. So it was the first recognition awareness program, and it was a success. So we have a lot of highs.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Head Start if you can for a minute. So first, for those who might not be aware, what is Head Start?
So it's early childhood education for children's ages 3 to 5. So when I first started, there were about 85, I would say, children in the building. Again, separate program. They have their own team of staff, their own directors, but we share the building. Now there are about 50 kids, but it is an opportunity for those families who can't afford, traditional daycare, and daycare is expensive.
Very.
They get to bring their children there based on income, and if they are qualified to be enrolled in the program, they come there from about 8:30 to 2:30 on a daily basis and get childhood education.
That's
so
awesome.
It's an awesome program.
And you think of what it does not only for the kids, right, and social emotional learning, right, in educational opportunities, right. They say, and I'm no childhood expert, right, but kids' brains between 3 and 5 are doing the most neuron connections that they will in their life, right? But what it does for the families as well, in giving them time to go to a job or grocery shop or, take care of another loved one who may need some help, right? I mean, it is such a critical part of what those families need in terms of assistance too.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, in addition to piggyback on what you're saying, in addition to providing families those opportunities, it's the financial burden that it relieves them from. I mean, it's really, really expensive to send children to daycare today. So it does all of that. And it allows some of those families, like I said, to get education. Some of them take classes. Some of them, get an opportunity to come in and use our free computer lab to work on resumes, do interviews and things like that. So it's a tremendous support to the community.
So we had our little one, now she's in kindergarten, right? But the joke was, and somebody taught me this, it's from preschool to free school, right? And we still pay for aftercare, so it's not totally free.
No, it's not.
But it's certainly a big savings of almost $1,000 a month, right?
Yeah.
And, and for a lot of families, that's a ton of money out of their household budget kind of thing, especially with multiple kids too.
Yeah. And that's why, let me mention, all of the services and programs that we provide at the Wilson Center are free, 100% free, so people can come and take advantage. So whether that's the food, whether it's the education, whether it's the training, the seminars, the workshops, whatever we do, we don't do that. We don't add to their monthly expenses and allow them to be able to come and take part at no expense.
That's awesome. So you talked about funding, right? And that's always got to be a
hot topic.
Yeah, hot topic, right? And we're in the middle of a federal government shutdown, right? And almost hitting a month period of time. You run a food pantry for people. Many of them probably are WIC, Women and Infant Children, or SNAP, Supplemental Nutrition Something Program, Assistance Program. Recipients already. What happens should that program not get funding in 4 days kind of thing?
Yeah, I think we're going to see an increase in numbers. We are slowly starting to increase in the number of families that we are seeing. It's a frightening thing to think about SNAP not being offered after November 1st. So what we're doing is securing extra resources, extra food, whatever we can to meet the need when the people start calling in and the people start walking through the door.
Yeah.
We anticipate that.
And it's scary because a lot of your clients are probably already on SNAP and they need supplemental assistance through the food pantry as well. And now to lose that first pot of financial assistance to get food, you can't make up through the Wilson Center that much of a gap kind of thing.
Right. Yeah, it's unbelievable where we are. But like I said, fortunately we at this time of the year when our Thanksgiving event is coming up, and so in addition to just the shelf safe, the beans and the peas and the rices, we'll be giving away a turkey and whatever else we can secure to help families. Like I said, as this need arises, like you're right, we can't fill in that hole, but what we can do is give a little more when we get a little more, and we've been pressing, pounding the pavement to get a little more so that we can provide a little more for those families that are in need.
So talk a little bit about the Thanksgiving giveaway, right? First, do you have your army of Masons to help carry the heavy turkeys out from the center to the cars?
We were actually going to call your office and see if we could get you that. I'm joking, Mayor.
I've done one or two before, you know?
You have. I'm joking. We do. We're grateful. Some of the volunteers that we acknowledged back on the 16th are our regulars. They come in the morning of the giveaway. So let me go back. So we gather this year. The goal is 225 frozen turkeys.
Wow.
All of the trimmings, green beans, carrots, stuffing, mashed potatoes, the whole nine. Stone Terrace helps us out with a baked pie. So every family that signs up will get a frozen turkey with all of the trimmings and a pie. And the goal this year is 225. Last year we were just over 200, so we upped it this year. And if I'm fortunate enough to do more, we'll go to 250. Everyone that signs up comes in. We give it away on Monday the 24th, I believe that's the date this year. And they will get the turkey and all those trimmings in preparation for Thanksgiving. So in that opportunity, people sign up. There's a little bit more than what we regularly give on a weekly basis. There's the turkey and the trimmings and the pie. You know,
Sure.
We don't regularly give away pies. So there's an opportunity for a little bit more. So that happens every year. When I started, we were somewhere around 60 or 70 giveaways on Thanksgiving. Last year, we were over 200. This year, the goal is 225.
And personally, Thanksgiving is one of my favorite holidays. There's no presents to shop for beforehand, right? There's minimal decorations to put up, right? It's just gather with family over a nice meal, reconnect, bond, right? And so for those families who might not be able to have just that family time, that bonding over food, right? And we think of food is throughout the course of human history. That's where people gather, right?
Yeah.
Is to eat. It's such a point of a stable family function to have that meal kind of thing. And no matter what religion you are, in America, it is celebrated by everybody. You know, it's universal that way here in our country. So.
And we try to make it easy. Many of our programs, you have to qualify based on income. This is one of those giveaways that as soon as we put it out, no questions asked. You just sign up, you get your name on the list, you got a turkey in the basket. So those things, I'm inspired by those as well. I mean, you know, some things we got to do because we got to do. Get funded. You got to get the credentials. But this is one of those things that you just sign up. And if you make it in the first 225, happy Thanksgiving on the Wilson Center.
That's awesome. We got to take our first break. I know there's still a lot more we got to talk about, but we'll be back. I promise you it just won't be on turkeys for the rest of the show, but we'll see you in a little bit.
Kessel Dermatology in Hamilton Square is an award-winning dermatology practice led by Dr. Daniel Kessel, a board-certified dermatologist. He and his expert staff treat patients of all ages. They offer treatments of all types of skin, hair, and nail conditions, and annual skin cancer screenings, anti-aging treatments, ultraviolet A and B light treatments, skin tightening procedures, Botox, and other treatments that enhance your skin's overall health and appearance. Kessel Dermatology is open Monday through Thursday, 7 a.m. to 6 p.m., Friday, 7 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. For appointments, call 609-890-2600. That's 890-2600 or visit KesselDermatology.com. They're at 1700 Whitehorse, Hamilton Square Road. Kessel Dermatology. They're good. Capital Health's primary care network continues to grow, bringing its extensive option of locations to your neighborhood. Whether you're scheduling a wellness checkup or not feeling well, advanced medicine starts with a Capital Health primary care doctor at locations near you in Mercer, Bucks, and Burlington counties. To find a Capital Health primary care location that's convenient for you, visit capitalmedicalgroup.org. That's capitalmedicalgroup.org. Your vehicle is in good hands at Haldeman Collision, Route 33 in Hamilton Township. They do it all at Haldeman Collision. Minor dents and dings, bumpers, windshields, major body, and frame damage. Free estimates, 24-hour towing, most insurance accepted, and loaners available. Haldeman Collision works with all makes and models. They'll go out of their way to getting your car back in brand new condition. Haldeman Collision, conveniently located 20 minutes from Langhorne, Princeton, and Ewing on Route 33 in Hamilton Township.
Well, welcome back to This Month in Hamilton. We want to again start out by thanking our sponsors, Capital Health, Haldeman Ford, Saul Funeral Home, and Kessel Dermatology. So we'll talk about turkeys for at least one more second. We talked about you being able to provide 200 plus Thanksgiving meals, right? And it's not coming from a federal grant to where you've got to be income eligible. It means you're getting donations, right? So talk about how people can donate, where they go to get more information, those kinds of things.
Absolutely. Thanks, Mayor, again. So what people can do to donate for Thanksgiving or just to donate to the center, for financial donations, you can go to our website, www.jowilsoncenter.org. And on our givings page, there is a box there where you can make a one-time donation, or you can sign up to make an annual, a monthly donation, so where we can debit from your bank account $9, $10, $15 a month and be a monthly giver. And so then that helps us over time. But if that doesn't work, you can make a one-time donation. In terms of Thanksgiving and the turkey baskets and the trimmings that we need, you can stop by our office to drop those things off at 169 Wilford Avenue. They're here in Hamilton. We use a lot of our partners, our corporate partners, Capital Health, Penn Medicine, RWJ, the Aaron Lodge and the Eastern Stars. They help to donate a lot of those trimmings as well. So we don't really want to tax the community on the trimmings for Thanksgiving because we're giving back to the community. So to ask them to give so that we can give back kind of really doesn't make sense for us. So we use our partners, those businesses, to help us with those donations for Thanksgiving so that we can give freely to the community. But in terms of the financial support that our nonprofit, and I'm sure all nonprofits need, can be done through our website, or people can mail in the check payable to the Wilson Center at that address that I mentioned.
And I know we're getting into that time of year where people are really more willing to open up their wallets and their pocketbooks, right, between Thanksgiving and Christmas. And there's always Giving Tuesday.
Giving Tuesday.
All right. I know there's Black Friday, Cyber Monday, I lose track of some of them, right?
Yes.
But so anything, on Giving Tuesday, I was mixing them up. Giving Tuesday, people can do a little extra.
Absolutely. So Giving Tuesday, just remember your local nonprofit, any nonprofit that you want to support in your hometown. If you're not here in Hamilton, support nonprofits. And our campaign starts Giving Tuesdays. Giving is the Tuesday following Thanksgiving throughout the end of the year. As you said, that's the time when people are more likely to open their wallets. So during just before Giving Tuesday, we'll put out a campaign. If we don't have your email address, please phone in 609-393-6480 extension 107 and give us your email address, or you can sign up on our website, as I said, jowilsoncenter.org, and get us your email. We'll put out a campaign with a countdown, 10 days to Giving Tuesday, 9 days to Giving Tuesday. You can make a donation, and like I said, continue to give throughout the rest of this year, or for as long as you like.
That's awesome. And hearing about the hospitals, you got them all hit up that are in Mercer County, so you'll have to, when CHOP comes to town too, right? You'll have to
Absolutely.
hit them up too. But you mentioned like the Stone Terrace, so it's not just giving money. Sometimes it's giving, as you said, the food items as well.
Yes, I can't think of the woman's name, but Daniel Rossi maybe is the name of the guy who he passed away, and the
Okay.
mom gives in honor
Oh,
of
wow.
him. And Stone Terrace gives us pies for Thanksgiving. They do regularly 100 pies as
Wow.
a donation, and this year I asked them to push the envelope a bit. So we're working it out.
Okay.
But we'll get over 100 pies this year that they
That's
donate in
awesome.
honor of this young man. So we've got businesses, like I said, helping us for Thanksgiving.
That's awesome. It because it takes a village, right?
It absolutely does. It
Yeah.
absolutely does.
And not only in a financial sense or kind of a pseudo financial sense with donating food, but even just volunteers,
Yeah.
right? Do you take volunteers as well?
We do. Part of the ceremony that we had the other day on the 16th was we recognized 4 individuals who volunteer and then 4 businesses. And these individuals and businesses, I mean, they come out whenever, whether we need backpacks for kids just before school starts, whether we need someone to work the registration desk on Thanksgiving, or whether I need someone to just help us clean out a closet or a pantry. These 4 individuals and 4 companies, they do whatever we ask whenever we ask. And as I said, I've been here since 2018, and a lot of them have worked relentlessly with us for the last couple of years. And I just wanted to have an opportunity to say thank you. And so we can use volunteers for our major events like Thanksgiving and Christmas and backpack giveaways, but we also use them on a weekly basis because our pantry distribution is every Thursday every week.
Mm-hmm. And so that takes organization. It takes, making sure everything's on the shelves where it needs to be, checking people
Absolutely.
in, all those good things,
Yeah,
right?
and they do all of that. I mean, all I gotta say is, "Can you?" and "What do you need me to do, Laurethea?" And they jump into it, and I love it, and I'm so grateful for them. I mean, we couldn't do it without them. We're a team of 4, 3.5, and so the volunteers really make it so that we can do what we do without a beat.
And it's crazy to think, right? 3.5 people, not physically half a person, right? But uh, it's a force multiplier to have those volunteers because there aren't enough hours in a day to do everything you need to do to organize it, to get the emails out, to ask for the money.
Yeah, they make the difference.
Yeah, and it's so great to hear that. So even if you're a business owner, small business owner, and all large businesses pretty much in Mercer County have give back days and donation days, right?
Absolutely.
Those corporate sponsors are a huge part of it as well to get the volunteers too.
Yeah, absolutely. We do have some major projects. As I said, the building has been there since 1976. So those give back days, we definitely would appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, but the center is used. I know we talked about Head Start, right? We've talked about now about Thanksgiving. I assume you're doing toy giveaways again for Christmas this year too.
Yeah, we're leaning towards that. The need is so great, right? For especially being that what's going on, like I said, in the current economic landscape. In the past, we've provided coats, hats, and gloves, and we've done toys. They're both important. I mean, I have a 12-year-old, so she doesn't play with toys as much right now.
She just wants the phone, right?
Right, right. But I understand for kids, waking up on Christmas morning and having a toy.
Something,
It
yeah.
is important. So we're teetering between that and coats because, again, a lot of people are losing jobs and having to scale back. Coats are important, too. It gets pretty cold here in Jersey. So we're not sure. But whatever we do will be geared and focused towards serving kids during Christmas.
And so people will be in the center for that. But there are far more things to do, right? And I'll get to those in a minute. But even just one way to use the center is hall rentals.
Yeah. Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And many people may not even think about that. But talk about, what you see from hall rentals.
So we call it the multi-purpose room, and it seats about 65 to 70 individuals, and people rent the hall and can rent the hall for repasses, birthday parties for kids. I've seen retirement luncheons and dinners, birthday parties, if you on a smaller scale. And so people come in and rent that. Thanks to the township, is at a reduced cost, and people love that. You go to these bigger halls, and you're going to pay a couple of thousands of dollars to rent for 4 or 5 hours, and to rent a space at the Wilson Center is relatively inexpensive, and people appreciate that. And I've seen people decorate them. You would think that
I'm
you
sure.
were at, the Taj Mahal or somewhere with a good decorator, but all of those opportunities provide some proceeds to the center too. So that's a great help.
Yeah, first birthdays, showers, all those kinds of things where, especially a first birthday where the kid's not going to remember it, right? It's more for the family than it
Right,
is for
right,
the
right.
kid.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And you're looking for a cost-efficient way because the kid's not going to remember it.
Right.
You've got something there. And then are they able to bring their own food in? Do they have to cater it? How does that work?
So you can bring your own food in, but they can't cook.
Okay.
You don't want anybody to get burnt, Mayor.
Sure.
So they can bring their own food in, put it on sternals, and that pretty much works. Some people have the caterers bring the food in, like the event that we had on the 16th. The Jersey girls brought in the food on the sternals. But they can get water to get the sternals. They can have ice, that
Yeah.
type of thing. And they bring it in and they set it up. I mean, I think a couple of weeks ago, one of the guys was saying that they had a DJ in there and it was a bridal shower. And I was like, what? A DJ? He said they
It
had
worked,
the best time.
right? Whatever works. And that's what's unique because everybody's different, right?
Yeah,
And everybody's
yeah,
got
yeah.
different cultures and the diversity of New Jersey, the diversity of Hamilton and,
Yeah.
and everything like that. Everything is different, even
Yeah.
for the same kind of event.
Yeah, and the one thing I will add, just learning again, I'm not a Hamiltonian, but learning over the time that I've been here is that the seniors and as people pass on, we spoke about repasses. As people pass on, they want their repass. They've left it to their loved ones to have their repass there at the center because they've been there for 60 years or 70 years or 80 years, and they remember when the center wasn't there, it was the playground, or they're tied to the golden ages, and they still, were coming there to meetings before they expired. So we see a lot of repasses of the older Hamiltonians that were there, before the center and on the early days. So that place is treasured in that regard. Families look to have their senior loved ones repass at the center,
Yeah.
and we've had a lot of that.
Talk to me about what you see about that sentimental attachment, right?
Oh my goodness. There's nothing that we don't have that I don't run into someone that says, oh, I remember when Poppy was here. Oh, I remember this. I'm Poppy. And Poppy, they refer to, I believe it's Pastor Wilson's son, and they refer to him as Poppy. And his grands and great-grands and great-grands are still in the neighborhood. And,
Wow.
and whenever we have something, they come out and people just talk about it all the time. But like I said, it's kind of an oxymoron, though, in that the values, the history, the people are still there.
Yeah.
But in the same token, people don't know that we're there. So I'm glad we're doing this show.
Yeah.
I'm glad we're doing this show. It's kind of like if you know, you know. And those that don't know, don't know. So I'm glad that we get this opportunity to sit and talk about it.
Well, and as with everything, the only constant is change too, right? So there's been an influx of new people into the neighborhood. There's been an influx of people like me, right, who weren't born here but came here and chose Hamilton to live in,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
They could be moving from Trenton into Hamilton or moving from Edison to Hamilton, right?
Correct,
Who
correct.
maybe don't have that history and know about it too,
Yeah,
right? Where
yeah.
they knew somebody's great-great-granddad who, was involved in the creation and laid a brick at the Wilson Center,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
There's new people coming into town all the time that we have to make sure know these things.
Yeah. So it's good. The sentimental connection is there. Like I said, his family members and community members and just people that were kids years ago. I mean, they come in sometimes. They take a picture of his picture. They take a picture of his picture that's on the wall. So it really has a lot of sentimental value.
Yeah, and that kind of strong connection, right, makes the center kind of run too.
Yeah.
Because people refuse to see it go, right?
Yeah.
And so you've got a board probably made up of some people who have a connection with the center, even dating back to before they were on the board.
Yeah. We do. We have a board. We have a board of 7. Some of the current members are newer, but Dr. Woods, Dr. Joseph
Yeah.
Woods from St. Philip's, he, is tied into our bylaws that he always has a seat on our board. And so he is the pastor of the
Yeah.
church where all of this started, wasn't there at that time, but is one of the pastors in line from, Pastor Wilson's original vision. And so whenever I get a chance, he was at our program on last Thursday, and he talked about the history of the Wilson Center. So whenever we get a chance to tap into him, kind of keeps that connection.
Yeah, no, it's so great, and especially for kids in the community, right? They're going to go be able to walk maybe with their family to the Wilson Center for Head Start, right? Those same kids are going to walk to Wilson Elementary School right down the block, right? They'll go away kind of on a bus for middle school, but then they're going to walk to high school. So from age 3 to 18, other than 3 years, they're walking in walking distance to their school, which is such an asset, right? And a unique experience as well, too.
Yeah. Definitely. I enjoy the connection that we had with Wilson Center. I know there's been a change in leadership, but we definitely, were hand in hand working with the fifth graders, working with the principal there, and I do some work with Brian over at Hamilton High West too.
That's
Haven't
awesome.
spoke to him lately, but yeah, I do some work with him too. And West helps us out a lot.
Those seniors need volunteer hours.
Absolutely, and Coach Papero helps us during Thanksgiving.
There you
Football
go.
coach there. We work with him. I actually just texted him the other day. Thanksgiving's coming.
Yes, make sure you get him before the football game, right? We're going to take our last break, and when we come back, we'll finish up with Laurethea.
Capital Health's primary care network continues to grow, bringing its extensive option of locations to your neighborhood. Whether you're scheduling a wellness checkup or not feeling well, advanced medicine starts with a Capital Health primary care doctor at locations near you in Mercer, Bucks, and Burlington counties. To find a Capital Health primary care location that's convenient for you, visit capitalmedicalgroup.org. That's capitalmedicalgroup.org. Your vehicle is in good hands at Haldeman Collision, Route 33 in Hamilton Township. They do it all at Haldeman Collision. Minor dents and dings, bumpers, windshields, major body, and frame damage. Free estimates, 24-hour towing, most insurance accepted, and loaners available. Haldeman Collision works with all makes and models. They'll go out of their way to getting your car back in brand new condition. Haldeman Collision, conveniently located 20 minutes from Langhorne, Princeton, Ewing on Route 33 in Hamilton Township. Hamilton Township in Mercer County is fortunate to have many fine businesses that serve our community. Saul Funeral Home is a fourth-generation family-owned business proud to support our local schools and community. Their compassionate and caring staff is there for you and your family. They'll bring the closure you deserve while also celebrating the life of your loved one. Visit their website at saulfuneralhomes.com. That's saulfuneralhomes.com. Saul Funeral Home at 3795 Nottingham Way, Hamilton Square.
Welcome back to This Month in Hamilton. I want to again start out by thanking our sponsors, Capital Health System, Haldeman Ford, Saul Funeral Home, and Kessel Dermatology. So, Laurethea, next year as a country, right, we're celebrating our 250th anniversary, which is a really exciting thing. But I know you've got an anniversary coming up at the Wilson Center, too, right?
Yeah, we are approaching 50 years next year. And so that's exciting. We're starting to talk about planning and what that will look like and how to involve the Wilson family and how to involve the community. So that's pretty exciting.
And you think, like, there's probably some community members who've been using and in that center for 49 years so far, right?
Yeah.
And you've had programming, and we can, talk about some of the programming from when they were young now to when they're elderly.
Yeah. One of the things I want to mention, what you made me think of when you said that, was at the program last week, a representative from NA. We have NA that happens in the in the building every Wednesday. I'm not sure if it's an open or closed meeting, but they've met in the building for 35 years.
Wow.
And so he was able to give, his testament about what the Wilson Center meant to him and his recovery and to the members of the group, and how he watched little miracles happen every week, and how people had a constant place to go every Wednesday. I mean, they come rain, snow, sunshine, they come. But how he was able to witness little miracles happen, how people's lives were changed because they had a constant place to meet, and they had been meeting in the Wilson Center for 35 years. So that was
almost a security blanket, right?
Yeah.
Like they know they can set their clocks to that meeting schedule,
Yep, yep,
right?
yep. And so that's pretty awesome. And the guys that we work with that group, the leaders of that group are awesome. They give us no trouble. They come in, set up, do their own thing, and then they leave. And just grateful for an opportunity to meet. A little bit about, you had talked about the seniors. So we have a large senior group that we work with. We got a grant from Mercer County to provide recreation and socialization for seniors, and we didn't talk that much about that in our earlier segment, so I'll share some now. And so we provide monthly activities for seniors. So whether it's arts and crafts, we bring in an instructor who teaches a class of 12 to 15 seniors twice a month, and they do everything from straw, ribbon, crochet, everything you name it, they do that twice a month. We just partnered with Interfaith Caregivers, another local nonprofit here in the town,
Hamilton, yeah.
and they did 2 15-week, I believe it is, segments of what's called Project Healthy Bones. And so seniors signed up, a class of 25 or 30, and they do seated exercise. So the focus is strength and mobility. And so the seniors come in every Wednesday for 15 weeks. We took a break over the summer, picked back up in September, and they come to the Wilson Center and do this exercise for an hour or so, 50 minutes or an hour, and they love it. And the Wilson Center got noted for having the most attended sessions
Wow.
this
That's
year
awesome.
and last year. So kudos to the Wilson Center. But no, they enjoy coming out, and they've been a tremendous help to us. Again, mobility and strengthening, seniors is important.
Absolutely.
We see some of them coming in, and they're maybe on a cane or on a walker, but by the end of the 15 weeks, they're just a little bit stronger, and they, take some exercises and the activities home with them, and they do it throughout the week and come to us where there's, formal instruction, and they get better. They get better.
Well, you think about it, right? Especially you're prone to falling, especially with a cane, right? And so what that can do to somebody's obviously physical health if they fall, but even just mental health and being that setback, right?
Yeah.
And being more sedative and things like that. This kind of grant, hopefully prevents some of that or mitigates some of that.
And as you talk about socialization, they just enjoy. I hear the comments when they leave the exercise, they go into senior nutrition to lunch, and they just talk about that being that camaraderie. They get to be together once a week. For some of them, it may be the only time that they come out, for some socialization aside from, going to a doctor's appointment or something like that. So they really enjoy it. So we're grateful to Interfaith Caregivers for partnering with us. This is our second year doing that, so that's awesome. So we do crafts, we do the exercise, we have line dancing. I don't know if you hear about that throughout the town, but we offer free line dancing. That's, again, all of our programs and services, Mayor, are free, so all you need to do is sign up. So we bring line dancing in once a month, and the seniors are in there doing it. I
love it. Good, keep them moving, right? Going back to mobility.
It's funny, if you know anything about the latest is boots on the ground. That's the new line, the latest line dance that was really popular over the summer, and so they're in there. I mean, we have a great instructor, and she takes her time, and they're in there doing it. So so that's fun. So again, to keep moving, strengthening mobility, socialization, and so they enjoy that. So we do bingo, as I said, exercise, line dancing, crafts. We're running a bus trip November 6th to the Tanger outlets in Lancaster. So again, another free opportunity. All you need to do is sign up and go. We'll take a trip out for the day and come back. So a host of things for the seniors to do. And then on top of that, Mercer County provides free lunches for seniors. So Monday through Friday, Mercer County comes in and they provide a lunch. And again, another opportunity for seniors to get a hot meal who ordinarily may not, given the financial landscape, may not be able to afford lunch every day. So they come, and then there's the opportunity for them to socialize. So they get together, they chat, and they talk, and they laugh, and they hang out after lunch is over, and then they go home. So a lot of opportunities for seniors in the building, too. And it's good to have them there.
So you talked about crafts, right? I am not creative. I don't do crafts, right? But your job involves so much creativity, right? In thinking like, which other nonprofits can I partner with to maybe get grants?
Absolutely.
What grant opportunities might our constituency be interested in? I'm sure when you started in 2018, line dancing was not at the top of your mind, but here they are, signed up for it, loving it, right? The chair mobility, right? Again, maybe not at the top of your. So talk to me just about your kind of professional arc there, right? Like, in being creative with that, because that's so much of your job.
Yeah, I think I I think I attribute a lot of it to just being a people's person. So I enjoy people. So I think I'm approachable, and I like to again just do what I can to be of service. So when I'm out, in the lobby, wherever out there is, talking to people, I'm listening to what the needs are. I'm a big news watcher, so I know kind of what's happening in all those landscapes, and I just try to do what I can do to make a difference. When I understand that, all of us are just a step or two, a paycheck or two from being in that situation, that kind of drives me. And so whatever it is that I can do to make it a little bit better for a senior, for a family, for a kid, that's what I'm here to do.
Yeah. So we just had a free health clinic open in town. I was at the ribbon cutting, about a week or two ago, right? And I said, healthy people are happy people, right? And I think you and the Wilson Center have contributed to that now for almost 50 years, not you 50 years, right? But if they're fed, they're happy. If they're exercising, they're happy. If they're socializing, right? Like
Yeah, yeah.
all those components go to making somebody's life complete and full and happy, right? And it's
Yeah.
got to be the joy of your part of the job to see those smiles on their faces.
Absolutely. Like I said, we do so much, and sometimes we kind of just on autopilot do, and it's in the moments like on the 16th where we sit back and think, wow, the difference that we made in somebody's life. Again, the testimonies from the gentleman from NA. We had a young lady who we provide rental assistance for, and was able to say, I needed some finances to take care of my rent, or I was going to be, out of my place, and the Wilson Center stepped up. And you could see the faces in the room. People were like, oh my goodness, But it made me just think about the good work that we really do and the difference that we really make in people's lives. And I thought it was important to share those testimonies, and they really did. And you mentioned something too about health. We didn't talk much about that, but we do some health education when we can. I mentioned Penn Medicine earlier, Capital Health, and RWJ. They come in and do heart health seminars, wellness seminars, nutrition seminars, and they do all of that at free of cost. Sometimes we offer a dinner, so we'll do an evening program so we can get working moms and dads. At 5:30, we'll feed dinner, and Penn will come in and do a program on, prostate health, something like that. And so we're getting education out to working moms and dads as well. And so I wanted to piggyback on that health initiative. We also bring in the Township Health Department. They do flu clinics and BP screenings and things like that. So we also dab a little bit in some health education, free education, again, to the community.
Yeah. Look, we all want to, I don't want to live to 100, but want to live longer, right? To enjoy life with our loved ones. And it's great to hear how you're contributing to that too.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
And the creativeness in those partnerships, right? You can't just sit in your office all day. You've got to be going out, as you said, as a people person, not only meeting your constituency, but meeting other nonprofits and meeting corporate leaders and obviously through your board members and the like. And it all kind of comes together with those good outcomes. So kudos to you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's definitely, it doesn't happen sitting in the office.
No.
You're right. It's going out there and figuring out who can we partner with, who can we connect with, and who can help us. Yeah.
Well, keep up the good work.
Thank you so much.
Godspeed on November 1st.
Yep.
But regardless, we know you'll continue to be doing the work that you signed up for and have done a phenomenal job these last 7 years, and we hope to have you a lot longer too. And I know the building is probably showing its age, but kudos to our Department of Public Works
Absolutely.
for making those needy repairs. I know it's even like something like a new roof happened a couple of years ago, right? Like, it's not a sexy thing.
Yeah.
But you need a functioning roof to have a
Absolutely.
functioning building and all those other things that are going on in it, right? So keep up the fantastic work. So great
Thank
to
you
have
so
you on
much.
again.
Thanks
Thank
for
you
having
so
me.
much for listening to this month's edition, to This Month in Hamilton. I want to again thank WBCB 1490 AM for allowing us to bring you This Month in Hamilton, as well as our sponsors, Capital Health, Haldeman Ford, Saul Funeral Home, and Kessel Dermatology. And with that, we will see you next month. Make sure you vote.